Wolverine, the most ferocious animal in the world. If you think of ferocious animals, it's most likely that carnivores like lions, crocodiles, and wolves come to mind first. After all, they're the apex predators of their habitat, sitting at the very top of their food chains. However, the aggression of these species is nothing compared to one animal that's much smaller, but much more fierce. This is Wild Facts, and today we will tell you the story of the Wolverine, the most ferocious animal in the world. We're going to cover everything from its appearance and diet to cases of it attacking wolves and bears. Before we start, consider subscribing to our channel and clicking the notification bell so you're the first one to see our new video. Wolverine 101. The wolverine belongs to the Mustelidae family, which consists of predatory mammals like otters, ferrets, and minks. However, the wolverine is the largest land mustelid, growing up to 66 pounds, 30 kilograms, in weight, 41 inches, 104 centimeters, in length without the tail, and stands 18 inches, 45 centimeters, at shoulder height. It also has a 10-inch, 25 centimeters tail, without which its general appearance is reminiscent of a small bear. Thick fur helps the wolverine remain warm even in colder temperatures it inhabits, like tundras and taigas in Alaska, Canada, and northern Europe. This animal also has huge paws with claws that evolved to traverse the snowy landscape. As it lives across 2 continents, there are 2 subspecies, the American wolverine and the Eurasian wolverine. Some scientists argue that there are 3 subspecies in Eurasia and 4 in North America, but most recent research rejects such theories. Regardless of that, the subspecies don't differ much, albeit the Eurasian wolverine is slightly bigger, especially those individuals living in Siberia. Some Russian texts list the wolverine exceeding 70 pounds, 32 kilograms. Also, the Eurasian wolverine is more proactive in hunting than its American counterpart. So how and on what is this mustelid preying? The wolverine is an opportunistic predator, meaning it will attack most animals it encounters. As a result, its diet consists of dozens of different species, including squirrels, mice, lemmings, beavers, moles, rabbits, and many others. The wolverine even occasionally preys on other predators like coyotes, lynx, foxes, and wolf pups. Also, this species isn't afraid of taking on much bigger animals than itself, including deer, moose, and bison. It has a very high metabolism, which means that they require a lot of calories to survive. While a wolf might chill for a couple of days after a full meal, the wolverine will start preying hours after eating. Living in scarce tundras and taigas means the animal density is low, making the wolverine travel long distances in search of food, up to 40 miles, 64 kilometers, per day. As a result, if the hunt was successful and there's more food than it can eat at the moment, the wolverine stores it and comes back to eat it later. Because it lives in subarctic climates, the food doesn't spoil and remains good to eat for a long period of time. It also means that the wolverine has to bite through frozen meat and bone, which is made possible by a bite force of 50 psi and uniquely placed molar teeth that are turned at a 90-degree angle. The wolverine is unlike any other mustelid and is unmatched in strength and ferocity in its family. Such features were first written down by Ernest Thompson Seton, who's considered one of the grandfathers of Boy Scouts. Picture a weasel, that little demon of destruction, that small atom of insensate courage, that symbol of slaughter, sleeplessness, and tireless, incredible activity. Picture that scrap of demoniac fury, multiply that might some 50 times, and you have the likeness of a wolverine. So, is the wolverine that ferocious? As we've said, It's known to feed on large animals like bison, which have an average weight of 3,500 pounds, 1,600 kilograms. That's 60 times heavier than the wolverine. While that's incredibly impressive, bison is a herbivore that hasn't evolved to protect itself from such predators as the wolverine. So is the wolverine that fierce? Well, there's a documented case of the wolverine attempting to steal a black bear's dinner in Yellowstone National Park. Now, this species weighs about 10 times more than the wolverine and is much more imposing than a timid bison, so it was one ballsy wolverine to challenge the bear. However, that time, the wolverine bit off more than it could chew and met its end soon after. There are also myths of the wolverine successfully taking down an adult wolf, but no such stories are confirmed. That doesn't mean that the wolverine is afraid of wolves. Actually, it's quite the opposite, as scientists have found out that wolverines prefer areas inhabited by wolves over those where they are absent. So while you shouldn't believe random anecdotes on the web about the wolverine jumping into a pack of wolves and taking care of it on its own, the wolverine still deserves to be called the most ferocious and fearless animal in the world. What makes this species a little less intimidating is the fact that it's a solitary animal, compared to wolves that live in packs ranging from 2 to 10 individuals. The wolverines only get together during the mating season starting in May and lasting until August. The males are polygamous, with some Chad wolverines reproducing with several females, while other males don't get to continue their lineage and are left without a partner. Wolverine females give birth during spring to up to 3 youngs that are called kits. Are weaned for a couple of months before separating from their mothers and starting their own lives. Kits grow up quickly and reach their full size in about a year, but maturity comes later. Females are capable of reproducing at about 15 months of age, while boys mature slower and reach maturity at 2 years of age. However, many kits don't survive infancy due to the scarcity of food and predation from predators, including other wolverines. It makes raising offspring a really risky decision, which results in just about half of the females and 1 in 5 males reproducing per year. Luckily, low reproduction rates don't make wolverines endangered species, and they're listed as least concern by International Union for Conservation of Nature. One of the reasons why wolverines aren't endangered is their enormous distribution. As you already know, they're found in both North America and Eurasia, but they also have huge home ranges. The territory of a single male can be as large as 580 SQ miles, 1,500 SQ km, and Eurasian wolverines tend to have bigger territories than American brothers.